I can already tell this is gonna be a fucking spectacular video. So anyway, y'all saw the title and thumbnail. You clicked the video. It is exactly what you thought it is. We're going to be talking about, the disturbing rise of junk food kids, which is pretty fucking valid. I see a lot of fat kids nowadays. We have a huge problem and it needs dealt with. So let's just dive right into this.
With Britain in the grips of an obesity epidemic, it's not just the adults who are overweight, with over a third of children in the UK being overweight.
A third of children being overweight is a should I say it's a surprising amount? Because let's just be real, it's not.
Or obese. Now, this does beg the question, who is at fault for these obese children?
Really? You're gonna ask the question about who's at fault for this?
Well, this is what the TV show Junk Food Kids looked to answer, and it uncovered the ugly truth of denial, excuses, and a lot.
Wait, there's a TV show dedicated to finding kids who are fat? Like, this is a thing? I kinda wanna watch it.
Of fast
Maybe that'll be for future episodes.
food.
Shops are to blame.
Do we call these episodes? I feel like we just call them videos.
Governments are to blame. People who make the candy and the sweets, they're to blame.
The parents are to blame for overweight children, but they have to be helped.
Now, the first episode in the series is honestly
Do they really say the parents are to blame? They are. Don't get me wrong. They are. I feel like also the fact that junk food is really one of the more affordable things that you can get. I mean, I don't know what it's like in the UK and other types of economies, but I know here in America, it is a rising thing that healthier foods are just harder to buy. So like you just end up buying stuff like, well, you know, Hamburger Helper and just all sorts of foods that just are not good to feed you and your kids. But what else can you afford, really?
to watch as we start in
Or like the McDonald's dollar menu. Well, I guess that doesn't exist. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean?
Leeds and meet Tallulah and her mother Natalie, and despite her looking older, Tallulah is just 4 years old.
She's about to start school, but it's hard to find a uniform that will fit.
Do you like that skirt?
You know, I also kind of wonder if it's a good idea to put these kids on TV. Like, are we really trying to put young kids who have a weight problem on TV? Like, how are they going to handle their self-confidence later? How are they going to handle this when kids in school, when they're grown up, like preteen and teenage? How are they going to handle this when kids find out they've been on these TV shows? You know they're going to be made fun of.
I want it, but I want now.
Yeah, 8 to 9 years.
Despite how young she is, she still needs to wear clothes which are for girls double her age, just because of the size and weight she is.
But it's not okay. Like, I want to point that out too. It's not okay that this little girl is fat. Like, that's not good. That we shouldn't allow that. Oh, that's fine. I can come back to this later. I didn't unpause the fucking video, and I have no idea where we were. I didn't play too much of the video, but this is just whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, because this is just how my life is supposed to go. I don't care.
Me.
One thing I noticed that she said was that she started piling on the weight in the past 2 years, so since she was 2 years old. And Natalie tried to play that off as if it was a mystery as to where it's
Okay,
come
but like,
from.
if your literal 2-year-old, like if your 2-year-old is putting on weight, that is a problem. Like, obviously, like, a very young child is gonna fluctuate in weight, but if you notice genuine weight gain, just consistent gaining in weight over the years, that's a problem.
when it's clear that Natalie is just feeding her too much. It's also strange that Natalie laughs when she needs a bigger size, which tells us she's not exactly taking this weight gain seriously, and we soon find out some immediate
Yeah,
health
see, I figured that laugh was a problem, and it's a problem. I'm glad someone agrees with me.
issues because of her poor diet.
Being overweight isn't Tallulah's only health problem. She's also suffering from severe tooth decay.
When Tallulah was born, she never had a dummy. She always had a bottle. So as she got older, it went from formula to cow's milk to juice.
Yeah, it shouldn't go like, no, she's not old. This is the problem. Like, she's 4 years old. Like, she doesn't need to be drinking juice all day. I mean, a 4-year-old probably could have some juice, maybe, but like, she'd still probably be drinking mostly like water and milk. You know, they should not be having fucking juice like, juice is loaded with sugar. Loaded with sugar. And there again, should not be regular bottles of juice like that. It should be a lower sugar type of juice, something that doesn't fill the child up with sugar. Because again, like, children are sensitive. Their teeth are sensitive. You have to be careful with this shit.
Now, I know that's my fault, but It was easier for me on a night to give her a bottle of juice than to try and sit up with her all night and try and get her back to sleep.
A commenter summed up this section perfectly, saying, "I'm sorry, but a 4-year-old with tooth decay, that's disgusting."
And that's the problem. You feed them a bunch of fucking juice and then they get fucking tooth decay. That's not okay.
I'm being harsh, but I completely agree. Going from
Yeah,
milk-
because like you're not calling the 4-year-old disgusting. The 4-year-old didn't do anything wrong. The 4-year-old is just doing what their mother is doing. Like a young child like that just emulates. That's what children do. They emulate the adult because that's what the adult is, the protector. That's what the child immediately, instinctively, primally even goes to. The adult, the parent, protects me, therefore I'm going to do what they do. I'm just gonna like take what they hand me. If that happens to be a bottle of juice that decays their teeth, they're gonna do that. I just want to throw a brick at the mom because like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
The juice, which is just loaded with sugar, and giving that to Tallulah at night is just ensuring that her fragile teeth are going to be destroyed. And Natalie's reasoning behind it is even more disgusting in my opinion, literally saying to the camera that she couldn't be bothered to make a bottle for her baby.
Couldn't be bothered. You should never say that when it comes to kids. What kind of a fucking response is that?
Just gave her fruit juice. The worst part is
maybe if it's like, oh, my kid did something bad and I couldn't be bothered to take his console away, you know? So I just decided to leave him in his room or something. Like, okay, that makes sense. You know, you're an exhausted adult. This is negligence and you deserve to be fucking smacked for that shit. Maybe even fined and a little bit of jail time. I don't know. Here's the thing. Do we argue where she starts to, where this is like child negligence and she needs jail time? Because I feel like this is a kind of child abuse, straight up. Because she's decaying her kid's teeth because she is too lazy to take care of her kid. I would argue that that is a type of child abuse. First of all, I'm no lawyer. Second of all, it's not my kid, even if I'm very disgusted at this scenario. This is a hard one, but we also don't have the full context yet, so we can't really make a judgment. I hate to say it, but maybe it gets worse.
Natalie admits she noticed the tooth damage, but carried on doing it anyway, and it's actually causing Tallulah a lot of pain.
They've just got worse.
Yeah.
That one hurts me. That one hurts me.
See.
That one hurts me.
Yeah, see, that's where it starts to become a fucking problem. This is what starts to sicken me and makes me think, fuck you, bitch, jail time. She is actively in pain. When you are a parent and causing your child constant pain on purpose, especially because you're lazy, that is abuse.
All of them hurt me at the bottom. And so hurt me at the top.
You'd think after Tallulah said that her entire mouth is in pain that Natalie would stop giving her sugar-loaded drinks, but it seems to be the opposite happening, as her convenience is more important than her child's health, and Tallulah's not only got rotting teeth, but is also piling on the pounds. The average 4-year-old needs 1,200 to 1,400 calories a day, and that 500ml bottle of Ribena she was drinking has around 200 calories and 50 grams of sugar, and it isn't exactly going to keep her full. And
50 grams of sugar? Damn, my bad. But I think 50 grams of sugar is the intake of your average adult. The average American consumes 68 grams a day, but that's significantly more than recommended. So yeah, for men it's 36 and for women it's 24. And this young child is clocking 50 in one drink. And how many is she giving her? Like fucking, I know it's more than one. With the amount that a child will whine, I know it's got to be more than one.
Natalie once again shows her denial as she denies that.
And the mom's got the audacity to cry. Like at this point, shut your bitch ass up, all right? Get your goddamn life in order and fix your goddamn shit. Your kid deserves to cry.
Tallulah's diet is making her so heavy.
Sweets, chocolates, sugary drinks, it's those diets which are linked to decay, not good diets. It's the bad diet that causes dental decay.
Yeah. Rigor. Put it there.
The fuck is that?
I cannot see a problem with everything that I give her.
Did she say I can't see a problem with everything I give her? You're giving her a full ass loaded baked potato, something that like I would eat for dinner. She does not need that.
I honestly do not believe she's put all this weight on just through what she eats.
Once again, taking the easy way.
You actually believe that? Really believe that the food is not the problem after you just handed her a full baked potato loaded with beans and other shit on the plate? You really gonna tell me that?
Out of any accountability, she tells the camera crew what she really thinks the true cause of her weight gain is.
Thyroid. So it
Oh, it's the thyroid. It's the thyroid.
with that.
But while Natalie gives excuses and continues to overfeed Tallulah, Tallulah has been sent to the hospital as the pain in her mouth has become unbearable. However, before they even get there, Natalie showcases her awful attitude towards Tallulah's health, as she can't even be bothered to make sure she gets to the dentist on time.
Today, Natalie has to take Tallulah to see the hygienist.
This is gonna be fun.
It's an appointment they have to attend before the hospital will see Tallulah. But it starts in 10
See,
minutes.
on one hand, I kind of understand it. Like, dentist bills can be expensive as fuck. But this is also the part of it where it wouldn't be as big of a problem if you would just teach your kid how to brush her teeth and stop feeding her so goddamn much food that would decay them.
And it's 8 miles away.
Tallulah!
That's the top!
Tallulah! Oh. Brilliant. So it means I'm gonna be late. So... Oh, this is not working out well at all.
Instead of still going to the appointment, profusely apologizing for being late and getting much needed help for Tallulah, Natalie decides to go home instead and watch TV. She even belittles the dentist's work by saying she doesn't need their help, and Tallulah wouldn't listen anyway.
Tallulah hasn't gone to
Dude,
today.
saying that you don't need the dentist's help after your kid is screaming at her teeth, well, not screaming, but she probably is screaming on the inside from all the goddamn pain, let's just be real.
His appointment. But Natalie wasn't convinced by it in the first place.
I like saying in how to brush your teeth. Obviously, she's still only 4 and, you know, it's quite difficult to get her to brush her teeth properly as it is. Never mind do it in circles and brush these this way and that way. They're not interested in brushing the teeth, really. Why would you want to brush your teeth when you can sit downstairs and watch a bit of, you know, Peppa Pig or do something else, you know, It's like it's a chore for her.
It's hard to believe what you hear when
It's like it's a chore because it is a chore and you have to teach your kid to do chores, you dumb fuck.
Natalie talks. Tallulah's teeth are literally rotting out of her mouth, and she's saying that brushing her teeth is too difficult to enforce, so she just lets her watch Peppa Pig on a night. Now, it's not just me and you who are outraged by this, and YouTube commenters felt the exact same, saying the fact that she blamed
Dude, making Peppa Pig angry was a top tier decision. That was funny as fuck.
the thyroid problem and then couldn't be bothered to get her daughter to the dentist on time speaks volumes. I
High
have to
key.
say, Tallulah's story only gets worse from here, as we see what Natalie buys her and her brother in a weekly shop. It turns out though, the children can't even wait for that to finish, as Natalie gives them food to eat during the shop.
For 29-year-old mum Natalie,
Dude, my mom would have never pulled that shit. Are you literally giving your kids food before you even buy it? Is that even legal? Why? Regardless, why?
one of the biggest tests of her control comes with a weekly shop.
I gotta get him something to eat quickly, just for while we're going round so they don't whinge and moan at me. Yeah, you getting one of those?
Soy sauce.
And soy sauce.
What's in that again?
Cheese and onion. I reckon it's got a bit of mayonnaise in it or something as well. You're getting apple juice to share. Right, let's go shopping.
As they walk around the shop, it seems like she makes a beeline to the crisps, or the chips if you're American, and gets the biggest possible bag she can, which she admits will only last her around 3 days.
Just gonna get some crisps now, because obviously they're convenient, snacky. See, that'll last me a few days. Well,
That'll last you a few days. Really? Just a few days.
maybe like most of this week, a 20 pack.
Also, the fuck Walkers, bro? You gonna buy a bag of Walkers? The fuck?
They're on offer at the moment, they're half price.
It honestly seems like Natalie
Is that like a
doesn't-
different brand of Lay's? Like, do they have to name them that in the UK?
no shame about her laziness, as she constantly talks about how she puts her convenience and snacks over her kids' health. She even claims that she tries every day to make a home-cooked meal, but can't be bothered to cook for 2 hours. But realistically, a healthy meal probably takes like 20 minutes on average. And if you struggle for healthy meal ideas like Natalie, I'd highly recommend you sign up for the Fat Loss Kitchen.
Okay, I'm not gonna watch that sponsorship, especially if you can afford it. Do it. Stop. Just please stop. Please stop neglecting your kids. Like, don't neglect your kids' nutrition because you're fucking lazy.
A lot of parents probably go through with kids begging them for chocolate. And I'm not a parent myself, so I can't really speak from experience. However, it does seem like after they whine for something, that's not the time to give them the treat, as it just reinforces the idea that if they whine, then they get a reward.
I like to just have an easy life. I think everybody likes an easy life.
Yeah, I think everybody likes an easy life, not when you decided to have kids.
No, you're not. No, sorry. Come on. Sometimes I think to myself, no,
Yeah, see, she puts on that face and then she just gets whatever she wants. Like, bro, that's what's gonna make you break? Get the fuck out of here.
You're not having Kinder eggs. But I do. Go and get a Kinder egg each, quickly.
Unfortunately, Natalie's easy life is coming at the cost of Tallulah's health, who realistically doesn't really understand that this bad diet is having such a bad effect on her.
No, because kids wouldn't understand. No kid that age could understand that.
But it gets revealed at the doctor's visit, which Natalie managed to attend this time. When the doctor, named Monty, asks Natalie about her eating habits and how often she brushes her teeth, Natalie just lies in his face, which Monty sees straight through.
Does she snack quite frequently?
She does snack. I won't say she eats, it's always sweet stuff that she's snacking on, but she does like sweet stuff, but I have cut her down.
The funny thing is, right? If most parents and most children know the right answers to the questions you ask them. You say to them, you know, does he eat sweets? Not often. He only has it with a meal. How many times does he brush his teeth a day? Do you think any parent's going to say to me, never? They say, twice. Every parent knows what the right answer is. So, of course, we have to be a detective.
But these lies are soon exposed when Monty takes a look at Tallulah's teeth, and it's a heartbreaking sight, as her mouth is just filled with abscesses and rotten teeth. Tallulah even admits that sometimes...
Abscesses? That's the worst. Like, hearing this news, like, I know there's always going to be an obesity problem, but when you're the enabler to your kid, that makes it a point where, like, you just deserve to be brick. Pause. But you know what I mean. You deserve to have a brick thrown across your head.
Pain gets so bad that it wakes her up at night, which honestly should be a wake-up call for Natalie herself. And although Monty says he isn't allowed to blame the parents, it's safe to say the fault falls directly onto Natalie for this. Because Tallulah is so young, the effects of her obesity won't be of immediate concern, but just the fact that her daughter has rotten teeth, has an insatiable hunger, and wakes up in pain during the night, or because Natalie, to be blunt, is too lazy to give her the proper care, it's a heartbreaking situation. Now eventually Tallulah is taken into surgery to deal with her rotten teeth, and the sight of her daughter being put to sleep seems to finally trigger something inside Natalie to take accountability for what she's done.
No, not her daughter getting to that point. It's only when her daughter is starting to get treated for your already abusing her is when it starts to really click. Quit being a hag!
Sadness and guilt all mixed into one. She's my world. It's my choice what I've given her, and the foods and drinks that I've given her is up to me, so...
Really? All that, all this and all that, just for you to come to that simple of a fucking conclusion?
It's not her fault, is it? It's my fault.
If you could be that goddamn dull, if you could be that much of a brick, and I don't think any soul on this planet can help you raise your IQ.
But I'm not gonna cry. I just drop.
This is a far cry to her attitude at the beginning of her episode, where she wanted to blame everything and anyone except herself. And this is like Denise's parents, who is older than Tallulah so can make her own decisions. However, she isn't exactly being supported by her family, and that has meant she weighs a staggering 224 pounds at the age of just...
Yeah. When I was like 17, closer to 18, I hit like 200. That's pretty sure. I was like 6 foot at the time. So, I mean, that's valid, you know? That's overweight. That's a little overweight. What's the average weight for someone who's like 6 foot? Yeah, between 140 and 183. So that's overweight. This is not okay. This is awful. This is 224 at 13. Parents, why?
years old. I've spoken a bit about the physical effects of a poor diet, such as obesity and tooth decay, but having an older girl allows us to look at the mental impact of being overweight, and it's heartbreaking to hear at such a young age.
I think my weight affects the way I feel about myself. Most girls like to look really, really, really nice because of the boys. People don't judge you by the way you are, by the way your character is. They judge you by the way you look.
My heart broke for Denise.
Yeah, see, because like there'll be those people who are like, don't worry about the way you look, body positivity. It's all about the personality. Shut the fuck up. My chiseled ass chin and the big ass knockers on the chick you love are the only fucking reason some people will talk to me and that chick. I promise you. I promise you.
She actually wanted to try, but her parents wouldn't back her up. And this will be proven very soon, as they check her into a bariatric hospital for weight loss surgery, like the ones we see in My 600.
Dr. Nat.
Personally, I find it shocking that the parents, while being overweight themselves, are even considering this. They would rather take the easy way out through surgery than change up the entire family's eating habits. And that might sound harsh, but there are others who feel the same. It's disgusting that Denise's parents would rather put their 13-year-old girl through life-risking surgery than just change her diet. Her obesity isn't because she moved countries or because she's spoiled, it's simply because her parents are terribly overweight and they are passing their bad habits onto their child. Simple as that. My heart is breaking for her. And the doctors agreed too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a harsh way to put it, but what other way can you put it when it's a harsh situation?
Try a real weight loss diet before going for surgery.
I think we all of us intuitively feel that it's a last resort.
In the first instance, I think we like to try and make sure that we've tried everything from a sort of diet and exercise point of view. Generally, our process is that you have to really try everything we can to help first before going ahead with something like an operation.
So Denisa and her family get put on a strict schedule so that Denisa
I don't know, and it just makes me question, like, I know, like, why would you consider any sort of operation for weight loss on a kid? A kid, like, why? Why would you do that?
Avoid having to have this incredibly drastic surgery, and so this 13-year-old girl doesn't have to go through that. However, it literally...
Which, thank God.
15 minutes after this appointment, her parents have taken her to McDonald's.
15 minutes
Like, why? 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 Why do you have to do that? Why you gotta be a bitch?
after leaving the hospital, Denise's parents take her for one last treat.
I think this clearly shows the parents' deluded mindset, as they call it one last treat, but clearly they go more often than not, and maybe it's more of a treat for them than Denisa herself. Poor education on weight gain has probably led up to this point, and the incredibly easy access to fast food, of course, has allowed Denisa's weight to skyrocket. Now, the family are also originally from Romania, and found food to be much more accessible in the UK.
In our country, if she asked something, I said, sorry, I don't have money to buy it, you know? But here, when we come...
Man, I can understand it, but also, you're an adult. Limit yourself. The literal rot that is happening inside of my head.
Food and sweets and, you know, everything you see, you buy it because it's cheaper.
She's coming. Oh, Daddy, can you buy this to me, please?
And you know what you say? No! No! Daddy's wallet is mine! And you're gonna go to your room because no!
Yeah, and again, I cannot resist.
But honestly, this is just one of the many excuses that the family employs to explain Denisa's weight gain, and it's hard to watch. Some people have even suggested that this is child abuse, with one YouTube commenter saying that...
See? That's what the fuck I'm saying! I'm not the only one that says it!
Child reaches the level of obesity that they need stomach reduction surgery, then it's probably time for Child Protective Services to intervene. Throughout the episode, you can see Denisa's lack of parental care, with her father even saying that he thinks it's pointless to diet.
Denise's father, Virgil, works as a builder. He's come to the conclusion that the surgery will be more effective than their attempts to diet.
Dieting, changing your eating style, it's about the power of willing, you know, and we demonstrate that we are not that strong. She tried to lose weight when she was 11.
An 11-year-old shouldn't even be trying to go through the process of losing weight. That is a process that requires mental, bandwidth from an adult usually, at least a older teenager. You know, like I don't.
But got fatter and fatter. But with the surgery, you don't have to give up of temptations. Yeah, you eat whatever you want, but only in a smaller.
You know, that's not how that works. You know, that is literally not how that works. If that's how that works, more people would get the surgery.
Only in a smaller amount, much more smaller amount.
Denise's episode ends on a pretty tragic note too, with the fact that Denise is now showing signs of diabetes and her family are now pushing even harder for weight loss surgery. And honestly,
yeah, see, so she shows signs of diabetes, and your thought is, let's push harder for the surgery that we think is just gonna magically work.
After watching both of
Why,
these episodes
parents?
and looking at the effects, the excuses and more, I do want to come back to the question in the beginning and look at who is to blame for these obese children. And at the end of the day,
parents and companies, because like companies will overwork parents and make it to the point where they just don't have the mental bandwidth to take care of kids. Don't get me wrong, you should always try to stretch yourself if it's really to that point, and still go the extra mile enough to where you can at least take care of them to the point where they're not in this situation. I can understand it to a degree, and these corporations really need to stop squeezing out 60 to 70 hour work weeks out of people for literally nothing except for bare minimum.
I think it's clearly the parents' fault that the children are in this situation, but there's a little bit more to it than that. A lot of the people featured on the show are from low-income households, which is just a whole other stress added to life. And I do understand cooking can feel like a massive task at the end of a stressful day, so to some degree it is understandable they turn for fast food. However, the levels these parents have allowed their bad habits to go is
why do they
finally
always do
discussed.
this? Like, I can't see your
Children
face.
is genuine.
Yeah,
See, my
I
video
just
about-
I can't finish the video and pay attention to what you're trying to fucking talk about. But you know what, whatever. This is really fucking hard to deal with. Knowing that there are kids out there that are experiencing a form of abuse that is unrecognized, which is literally just pumping your kids with sugar and other sorts of junk foods, and now they're fat and they have rotten teeth, and they now have a disorder as well that they can't break, that their parents caused. It's a generational disorder, if anything, because I'd imagine their parents also had that problem that they passed down to their kids. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. But anyways, if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. Leave a comment down below. I can't believe I'm saying this after a video like this. I feel like I'm mooching off the evil. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Thank y'all for watching. Peace out, I guess.